What separates Christianity from all the other religions? Why is it that Christians and Christianity is the way and the others are just religions?
Grace. Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism teaches, if you keep the rules well enough, you'll eventually make it to nirvana, heaven, whatever. Jesus says you'll never make it on your own. I did something for you that you cannot do for yourself. I sacrificed my life on a cross to pay the penalty for your wrongdoing, to forgive you, and to give you the gift of eternal life. Which means, obviously, we're talking about a relationship. We're not talking about a philosophy. We're not talking about a series of interesting postulates or doctrines. We're talking about a relationship with Christ, where you trust Him to do something for you that you cannot do for yourself. That's why a Christian is someone who's put their faith in Jesus Christ. A Christian is not someone who says, oh, I believe it's a great philosophical system, a great way of living. No. It's a personal connection with the living God, with Jesus Christ. Stuart, what do you say?
Well, why is there this huge revival of Christianity going on right now? For the first time in 100 years, more men are coming to the church than women. It's always been women outpacing the men, but all of a sudden now men, your age, are coming to the faith. And oh, by the way, it's not primarily white men. And why is that happening? And a lot of it has to do, for me, with this connection of your good question, of why do I think that Christianity really hits the mark when it comes to our very fabric, our makeup, psychologically, emotionally, intellectually, physically. Well, you know who said it best recently? It was Matthew McConaughey. He said part of the reason why I'm a Christian is because of the diagnosis of the human condition that Jesus makes, which is we all miss the mark. We know that there is some standard we should be living up to. Jesus Christ says, well, you're a sinner. You're never going to be able to fully live up to it. That's why we have something called guilt, shame, anxiety, but that we can get headed in that direction, especially with Him as the ultimate reference point. So that's where Matthew starts. Second point Matthew hits is that all of a sudden young men feel this culpability around, hey, I need to be a little bit more structured in my life. And so 1 Timothy 5:8 talks about how the man who can't provide for his family is worse than a non-believer. So Matthew McConaughey goes about saying, well, all of a sudden people are realizing, hey, we need to actually make our beds in the morning. Men do. This sounds a lot like Jordan Peterson, right? We need to make our beds. We actually need to clean our rooms. We actually need to go to class and not just play video games all the time. And so where is that longing? Where is that, how are we being drawn out in this kind of way? And so many people, especially men your age, are saying, hey, there's some kind of meaning outside greater than me. I don't know what that meaning is, but it might be God. And so now all of a sudden you have more men flooding into the church than a few hundred years in the US.